Hello there, YouTube family. Life's a game. Hope you guys are doing all well today. This video will be showcasing my 41st exotic gifts for random agents showcase, and the legendary mission we'll be doing, as you can all see here, is Capitol Building Legendary. I have never done commentary on one of the videos, so today, I guess that's the first time. A lot of people have been asking for it. A lot of you guys have been asking for it to see my thoughts on my own critique on my own videos, and just seeing what I think of certain things while playing. You know, since I'm so focused when I usually do play, I'm usually just focused, and it's tough for me to, like, you know, commentate a lot during play. It's just one of those things I got to work on, I guess. But just in order for me to produce the content I produce, I got to be focused. So I very much am, and I do, just to let you guys know, honestly, I do a lot of the times, like, I do look back on my videos and I do, like, critique myself a lot. Like, I'll see myself throw a grenade too late, or in order, like, to activate overcharge or something like that, or I'll roll too fast, like too quick, or I'll see myself come out of cover, get hit with something that I should have never been hit by when I rewatch it, and it's like it's a little interesting sometimes. So it's good to get this critique, to do this critique, like, with you guys being able to hear it. And I think it's cool. I think a lot of you guys will like this. I really hope that you will see, like, the benefit in it, because I being myself that ran it, it's kind of weird, like, knowing that I ran it myself. Like, I see so much, like, critique in it, and I was the one that actually went through it. So it's like, I can only imagine what you guys might think watching one of these, and my thoughts alone. I mean, maybe I might say something that maybe I might not know fully. Maybe you guys can correct me on that in the comments, but I'm just going to give you my thoughts on certain things, and what I think as far as a build, and, you know, it's the damage it's putting out. I'm actually using an Ouroboros build right now, mixed with a Stinger Hive, and the other one, I believe, is the Assault Turret. As you can see right here on the screen, I'm pretty sure a lot of you could figure it out just from watching the gameplay. But respectively, it was a fun game. This is the first time for me specifically using this build. This is the first time for me using the build with the Ouroboros involving the Stinger Hive. I've just been incorporating the Stinger Hive a lot more so into, like, a lot of my builds and everything, because it works so well, like, with a lot of, like, different things. And I didn't really realize how great it was until, like, I made, like, that one build on my alt character that I believe you guys watched. I believe the video, I forgot. I think the video's name, the title was watch this build, this unconventional build clear DUA, I believe. It's that video. If you go and watch that one, you'll see that that same, like, with that same build, that's where I came up, like, with the Stinger Hive to use with the auto. Although I didn't have, I think I have the Ouroboros on that alt character. I can't remember exactly which gun I was using that run. It might have been the auto. I don't know if it was a St. Elmo's. But yeah, that's where I came up, because the Stinger Hive only had 2 skill tiers on that build, and it was so lethal. And I was thinking, wow, you know what? What if it has 6 skill tiers, like within this one, like the one within this video? I was just thinking, like, if it had that, and I could also activate overcharge, what would happen? I don't know that well if this build could activate overcharge, though. I don't think I incorporated that one into this, but I do have my other build, that the one that I beat Legendary Manning Zoo with 4 directives with, the shield one. Yeah, the one with the shield, that one does have the overcharge for the Hive, for the 6 skill tier Hive. So I think it's a huge thing. But that build doesn't incorporate the Hive. I only use the shield with the assault turret. I mean, the other build I'm talking about, the Manning Zoo one I did. But I was thinking of incorporating the Hive with that one, because that could be very lethal as well, to be able to get overcharge off of just a grenade throw, knowing that you have a 6 skill tier boost. I mean, Stinger Hive. That'd be insane. Okay, so we are in this room. This is a room with the pulse thing. Okay, so yeah, usually in, like, a lot of these close quarters legendary rooms, it's just about working, like, smart, checking your corners, checking every single corner. And you know what, guys? To be honest with you, I actually use the mini map, like, to do so much. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, I'm looking at the screen a lot, but, like, if you could say, like, if you could just have, like, one eye on that and one eye on the mini map all at once. I mean, I'm not cross-eyed or anything like that in any sense, but I mean, In that sense, that's what it kind of feels like, because it's like one of my, like, I feel like I'm always watching both of those, and I think it's so crucial that you have to do that on Legendary. See, I just got hit there very hard by one of the enemies, but I think, like, in the sense of like being able to watch the map, the mini map, it helps a lot. Like, it saves deaths, because there's been a lot of times, like, in the past where I have been picked off, and it was because I wasn't watching that well. I think if you keep an eye on that all the time, you always have a way to do it. I mean, of course, I do know that there are times where you do run without that. I did that with the Manning Zoo Legendary 4 Directive run. We didn't have the mini map there to see enemies, but once you can kind of get like a feel. Like, if what I mean to say is, like, if you begin to use the mini map in that sense, like that, like when it's not there, like, being able to use a mini map and know the enemy's movements gets you ready for not having the mini map there. If that makes sense. Because once you don't have it there, like, once you get the enemies down and the way they move when it's there, when you don't have it there, you're gonna know more or less how they're moving. You'll know more or less like what could be where. The only thing is just remembering what's there. Like, you see the little robot, like, in the left-hand corner, the purple robot with the purple little sign. It's like, say if you didn't have like the mini map, you'd have to keep an eye on him and know where he's going, because a lot of those robots, a lot of times, like, they tend to sneak up on you, like, a lot, especially in Legendary. So it's like you just have to, like, just have your wits more about you, I guess, when the mini map's not there, alerting you to the enemies, as opposed to when it is. So I think just incorporating the mini map usage and knowledge in could help you, like, big time in these missions as far as success. Okay, so it's just us three amigos, of course. Used that title a few times, but yeah. And one thing they can definitely tend to do on Legendary is spam a lot of nades, like grenades. Like, they could do that. They could spam a lot of drones, and it's just like sometimes you got to get on top of them. I always emphasize the whole notion of not pushing to my team, because it's always, Legendary is always about distance, patience, and balance. But, like, there are times when you totally do have to, like, you know, push up a little bit, and you do have to kind of set the tempo a little bit. Otherwise, the enemy will kind of get comfortable and set up all sorts of heals if you don't get the medics. And touching on medics, medics are first priority as far as being in my squad. If we're playing Legendary, medics are always the first priority, like, to kill. I always tell agents, hey, if you see a medic, get him out of there as fast as you can. You do not want the medic to stay there, because a lot of times I've seen so many teams do it, or they told me about it. Or I've had to bail them out many times, where we kill, like, the entire room. Like, we literally, like, complete the entire room, mostly. But then after that, it's like there's one medic left, and that one medic comes and he, like, revives everybody, like, one by one, and then the entire room and some, it could be a chunk of two, like, are back. And at that point, it's like, wow, you know, like, a lot of teams could just wipe on that, and then after that, lose a lot of confidence. It's like the whole room just revived. You guys didn't take the medic out. It was something that you should have done from the get-go. It's tough because the medic does hide a lot, but I do emphasize it a lot. And I feel like once you can do that, it doesn't matter what Legendary mission, what Legendary content you're doing, you can take out the medic fast enough, you're winning there already. That's a huge win situation, because you know from then, any enemy you're taking out, there's nobody that's going to revive them. Just adds the higher percentage success rate of your win. And believe me, trust me, you want that the most you can get in Legendary missions. Of course with directors, let alone without. This is one just normal, but yeah. Like, these were pretty good teammates. They listened pretty well. And that's the key thing too, on that point. Listening during missions. It's always fun to, like, it's always good to listen, because when you're listening in the missions and everybody's on the same page, it makes things that much smoother, that much easier. Even if you run into a problem, you guys are at least all on the same page, so you know how to get yourself out of that problem, more or less. Immediate medical assistance needed. It's like, say, like, if you went, like, down, like a dark tunnel or something, at least, no matter what happens, you'll know that at the end of the day, I came down a dark tunnel, like, you know how to get out. But if everybody's not on the same page and somebody came in there through, like, different avenues or different areas, it's going to be kind of hard to all get together and come together against whatever threat is down there and figure out how you're going to get out. So being on the same page as far as a Legendary mission, like, it's crucial. That's one of the main reasons, in my honest opinion, why a lot of teams wipe in Legendary. Some of them are just not on the same page. And that's crucial and definitely integral to winning a Legendary mission. Okay, so we're clearing it out, clearing it out. It definitely does require patience. Legendary missions are always about patience. I cannot stress that enough. Distance and patience. I know there are those clan groups that can rush and, you know, like that play like with set friends or set people that know the spawn points and whatnot, but when you're playing with randoms, which is much more challenging, in my honest opinion, you gotta pace yourself. Like, you gotta know when to move, when to go. You gotta keep yourself just level-headed while you're doing it. Don't get too much ahead of yourself. You gotta just keep like a comfortable distance between yourself and the enemy. You want to always keep a comfortable distance between yourself and the enemy, because that helps out so much. You see, so now room cleared. The room's finally cleared out. It just took a little time. You'd be surprised. There've been some really impatient agents sometimes. Kind of rhymes, impatient agents, but I've seen it a lot of times, and it's like sometimes you just have to chill for a moment, fight on your back foot for a second, and depending on the content, it could take some time. But once you do it, and you'll clear the room out. That's why patience is seriously a virtue, like in Legendary. I know it's definitely a cliche saying, but it definitely is. Like, it's all about patience. That's a lot of agents ask me a lot of time. They're like, "Life's a game. What's the difference between heroic and legendary?" I'm like, patience. And they look at me like puzzled, and I'm like, realistically, if you can do a heroic mission, you're more or less at the level already, in a sense, to be able to handle a legendary mission. I'm not saying do one fully, because you do have to have a build, like, in a sense, but I'm saying more or less to handle it and what's coming, you're more or less already there. If you can dominate like a heroic mission, I'm saying like dominate it. Like, if you can beat it easy, you're more or less already in legendary range, and you're not wrong, but you're there more or less like build-wise or hurt-wise, like, in a sense. You're more so likely to be. I'm not saying you're even going to be there fully. I'm just saying you're more so likely to be. But, like, knowledge-wise and game-wise, no. The legendary is, like, different in the sense you have to be patient, because they hit so hard, and it can go from literally... People usually say 100 to 0 or 0 to 100. Yeah, it can go from 100 to 0. It can go from 1 to million in legendary. Actually, it can go from 1 to 100 in legendary, and it can go to 1 to a million in legendary too. That's just the difference. Like, it can go from 1 to 100. Excuse me, it can go from 1 to 100 in heroic. It can go to 1 to 1 million in legendary, like, fast. Like, as in, you're dominating the whole mission, and then, like, for a second, you guys, like, start joking around. You run into an enemy encounter. All of a sudden, somebody dies, and then all of a sudden, you're back fighting. The next person dies. I mean, the whole mission changes. You're just dominating it, and then now you're literally on the verge of wiping. You're like holding on by like a hair. That's like the difference between legendary. That's why I always emphasize also with my squads, like, to keep focused while playing. We can talk and all that stuff, but it's always good to keep focused, because if you don't do that, a lot of times people end up wiping or dying at spots where they definitely shouldn't have, and different stuff. And I get it. Sometimes a lot of people be playing with me sometimes, and they'll think, like, there was this one agent once, they died, or once in the past, and they were saying, well, you were there, so I knew, like, even if I died, then, you know, I'd be good. But I'm like, no, agent, I want you to play, like, at your highest level. I don't want you to rely just on me, because, hey, I'm a human. I'm a player as well, guys. As great as you see me, like, I can wipe, I can go down. Like, things could happen. My controller could do something. It's happened. I can make a mistake somehow. Like, I didn't calculate the bomb coming somehow, and I get hit by it. You know, it's occurred, and then the team's there, and, you know, I have usually a lot of great agents. I'm not saying I'm just, you know, this, that, or, you know, just I'm the only player. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I do have a tendency to just be very patient, and therefore my death success rate is not going to be the highest, because I'm not rushing up so much. And as you're seeing, respectively, with the build there, I don't even really have a heal on there. I have a assault turret, and I have a stinger hive. So it's like, if I go down, if I do something reckless and I run up there and I don't think, and I go down and I die in a bad spot, not only am I going to put myself in a bad spot, I'm going to put my team in a bad spot. So it's like, I'm thinking of that while I'm playing this. Just something I'm critiquing from here. And it's one of those builds, and obviously I knew that coming in, but it's just something I'm letting you guys know right now as I'm going along. Okay, so yeah, you want to also, right here, you're seeing a lot of bullet shooting, you're seeing a lot of shooting. You want to kind of keep in the pocket there. You see it kind of how I was on the mid corner there by the wall. I wasn't kind of right there in the front of them. You want to do that. But at the same time, you see the drones flying around? You want to watch for those too, because they'll blow up right next to you, and that will take a lot of damage. So that's what I said. That's another thing. And going back to what I was saying on the minimap, respectively, you'd see, you know, the drones are coming in a sense because you'd see the minimap, the red line would get thicker. And that's just one of those things you can use to tell when something's going to be there before it's there. I mean, obviously, I'm watching. You want to be watching more than that because sometimes the minimap can, you know, can. I'm not sure if the minimap's 100% always live to the point on target. I've seen things there. I've blown up drones and I've still seen that they were registered as right next to me. So I wouldn't say 100%, but I'd say we're in the 90%. Like you can look at that and kind of more or less pinpoint when and where those drones are coming, even if you can't see them. So that's just a fun fact point, legendary point for you all. Okay, so we're getting a little rest, and also another thing, always get rest during legendary missions. I mean, I know there's teams trying to push, and a lot of times when you have good momentum in legendary, a lot of teams tend to want to push. They want to like kind of just push up and go, and they want to keep the momentum, but you want to steady pace it. You don't want to push like heroic. That's where a lot of teams run. They run right into the wall because they're going too fast. They didn't see the door opening that was obviously like in the distance. They were running so fast they ran into the wall instead of getting aligned with the door opening where they could have ran through the door. So it's always good to just sometimes slow it down, even if you're dominating the legendary mission, unless you're speed running and in a clan and all that. I get it, but other than that, I'm saying just slow it down sometimes and just, you know, go over it. Ask if everybody's good, you ready to go, you know, the next room, and then just get right back to it again. Because I understand you don't want to sit there and be taking like a 10-minute, because sometimes some people can get out their zone. Usually when you're legendary, it could be you're in a chain. You know, you're going, everybody's on their P's and Q's. The sniper's hitting his shots. You know, he was kind of a little rusty in the beginning maybe, but now he's hitting everything now. He's in his groove. You know, you don't want to slow that down. You want everybody to be at their absolute best. But at the same time, you don't want to rush anything. You want to be thinking on your feet. You want to always be watching. You're going to see some of that here right now for myself individually. So yeah, I'm getting the guy going up the ladder. I'm using the wonderful Ouroboros, hitting the guy. The Ouroboros, it hits so swiftly. Like even if it's not powered all the way up, I mean mine is God rolled, but I'm saying even if it's not hitting maybe 1,000,000 per shot or whatnot, I've seen some crazy Oro builds on YouTube. Obviously, I can still do work in the area of Ouroboros as far as hitting 1 mil. But I do get 300k to 400k. I could probably get more, but just the burst that it comes out with, it kills enemies so fast and it's lethal. Like in the sense of if you're Ouroboros, like if you have the correct attributes on it and they're all God rolled and max and stuff, it's a powerhouse of a gun for sure. Like they do feel it, but you still have to be careful because they can still pick me off just as well as I'm picking them off. So it's just one of those things. Okay, so we're still battling in this room. Going in and out. And the bombers, you want to get the bombers. These guys, they'll be doing so much grenades. They'll spam them so much, and sometimes it could get so bad and ugly. I'm sure you guys have totally seen some of my other videos in the past where I've done some of this content and I've, you know, gotten around it. Used to it obviously at times, but I'm pretty sure you've seen the grenades spam at certain parts and you're like, what is going, I'm sure you're like, what is going on? Like, how are they able to, I wish we could, you know, throw grenades like that or keep putting drones out that fast. I wish the devs gave us like, maybe like when we do overcharge, maybe let us, if they were to kill like our skill, we could just reuse it maybe or something. I don't know, like, because some of these legendary enemies are doing, it's unfair sometimes. I'm like, man, I know we beat the content, but sometimes it's like, it's not even fair. Like a lot of the player base is gonna like just highly struggle with that. Hell, I'll struggle sometimes at certain parts, even though it might not seem like that. It might, you know, it might be a little more hectic than usual, but you know, we get the job done, of course. But you know, it's crazy what some of these enemies do and how hard they hit sometimes. It's like, man, I feel you guys on the pain with legendary at times. Trust me. Don't get it twisted. You might see me win all these matches, but I'm feeling the pain too. These guys, they hit hard. They hit hard. Sometimes they're smart. Sometimes they'll be doing human-like movement. They'll go somewhere. He's hiding in a corner somewhere. You go. You didn't see him. I'm like, man, where did this little rascal come from? Like, you know, like I don't like. It's crazy. But it's good. I like the AI. That's one of the things about this game too. I like the AI of it because they're able to move around like that, and you can the medic there always first priority. But they're able to move around like that and be able to coordinate. That's good. And I hope that they bring that into Division 3 respectively too, like the enemy's smartness of their movement here. Especially the robots. Like, have you guys ever been playing this and the robots, like, on Legendary, and they, like, kind of sneak up on you from the side, and you're like, where did he come from? Like, I know I saw him, but I thought I killed him or whatnot or whatever even, like, and they just come out of nowhere. I mean, it really doesn't catch me off that guard that much anymore, because I'm really watching for it, but there'll be times when it still does, and I'm like, how are they moving so well on the battlefield that everybody you're fighting, like, you're not even seeing them move? Like, they're moving, but you're not seeing them, and then it's like a surprise attack, and that's exactly what it is. I love it. I like the movement of it and how they're able to do that. I think they really need to incorporate that AI into the Division 3 and some. Maybe the enemies could make like a barricade, like shield, or like get together on you. They start figuring, like, the farther you get in the mission, the more they start figuring out the strategy and the way you fight. And like, say if we're using a lot of skills, they start putting on like a lot of pulse, like, you know. They're trying to take your skills away from you because they know that's your strong point. Or if maybe you have a lot of DPS, they start putting like a lot more, they start attacking you with a lot of like skills. So they want you to more or less use skills. Like, they know that you're heavy on DPS, like, but you're not heavy on skills. So they think if they exercise the option of skills, or vice versa, or defense, offense, electric, weaknesses, whatnot. I feel that that's something they need to incorporate into Division 3 actually. Let the enemy get smarter as you progress. Like, it's like real life. If you're fighting somebody and you're seeing them progress, you're going to be watching what they're doing, and you're going to be making the key adjustments necessary, needed, that you think would be the best to defeat them moving forward. That's how it would be. Like, if I mean, it's a key idea for Division 3. Thinking about it though, they should do that. Like, every mission, that way every mission is different. Every team that plays, every strategy that you play with is different, because it depends on how your team plays is how the enemy is going to come at you. Not saying that, oh, because if you have, say, like a fire build and they have, say, ice, something like that, and touching on ice, I'm going to get back to that again. There's an idea I have on an exotic, but I'm saying, like, if they had the opposite weapon you had, like if you had a flame and you're weak to ice attacks because you had like a flame build or something they do in Division 3, imagine like you have to be watching it, because now they picked up that you have flame when they're using ice guns, so now you're at a disadvantage. Now maybe you have to switch your build during the match, like on the fly or something. They make something where you were able to switch your build like 3 times during the match because the enemy is able to adjust. I don't know. It's just ideas to think of. See, this is the kind of things I think of when I critique. I've never really thought of that idea. I've kind of just got that just as I was on here with all you guys. So it's always good. I enjoy talking with you guys and critiquing. It's different. It's nice. I enjoy it. So we're still here. Capitol building, and at this part right here specifically for you guys, that whether you pass this part or not, just a key fact, you want to fight from this door handle right here, just in case if you don't, because a lot of teams sometimes will come out here and they'll wipe and they'll go up. Sorry for the mumble there. Chances are, if your team was good enough to get here, all the way here, to this room at this mission, I'm sure a lot of times they'll be rushing, and a lot of guys will get ahead of themselves and they'll go further than what they're supposed to, i.e. pushing, meaning why I say patience, distance. So at this part, you kind of want to just relax and fight from the door here. You have a lot of cover from the gate on the right, and they can't see you, and when the Chunga comes down, he's not going to walk through the door here. He will not walk through, so you can definitely fight him from here. However long it takes you to take him out. I threw my hive there, my stinger hive. I love that. I love that skill. I wish I would have incorporated it a lot sooner in the past, but I'm doing it now. The Ouroboros hits hard. I have the attack turret, and you just fight for back here. It's a good build. I like my build. I like my build for this one. It's enjoyable watch. I like watching this. Rewatching myself. That's one thing. It's always good to do that because you get to critique your content and see like what you've done. So there I am. I'm writing about my lethal combination build with a turret. I was enjoying this. This one was fun. Not saying the other ones aren't fun. Every run I do is fun, but this one was definitely it was one to remember though. It's a really lethal build. I think this build's gonna go a lot far. Definitely a good incursion build. I can tell you that much. I think might be my next video. This build and incursions, possibly. We'll see. But for the record though, whoever's still watching, if you guys have gotten this far, thank you for watching this. Thank you for watching my commentary. I'm glad that you're able to come and watch this. I'm glad you guys all gave me the idea to do this. I'm glad I'm able to connect with you guys all on this level now. We can talk about all sorts of things. You guys can leave comments. You can tell me what you want to see. And you can see what I think on my performances. And, if it's something that I feel is adequate, if it's something that I feel will help you guys, if it's something that I even need to fix, that I should do better. So thank you for that. If you haven't already, check out my membership, my Life's a Game Exotic Community membership. You can join that. It's just $10 a month to play with me for 30 minutes. We can do this type of content. I can assist you with it, but 30 minutes obviously isn't long enough to do this type of content, so it would actually be my other perk that I have, which includes Legendary and Incursion. And that one's just a little more money than the other one. Not much. It's about 25 a month, but if that's something that you're looking at doing, 25 a month for doing it twice a month. So we'll either do 2 legendaries, 2 incursions, or legendary and an incursion every month, in addition to you being able to play with 30 minutes each week. So if that sounds like a deal to you, the other one's there. The $25 one is there. It's there. You can go ahead and check it out, see my video. It explains it all there. Read the whole entire description, please. It explains all of it there. And I think it's something a lot of people would benefit from. A lot of you Asians would benefit from based off of what they were asking. So we'll just see how that goes. I'm offering that as of right now. We'll just see how it goes, guys. I just like being able to help out. And I know a lot of people want a lot of different exotics, and they ask me about it all the time. That's the reason I made it. So I just hope it can help out. You guys can utilize that. But anyway, back to the video. We're still fighting from the pocket, see what I mean? There's going to be a lot of robot dogs and stuff, and you don't want to be out there when they're out there like that, because you're just an easy target. Be attacked in all corners. If you're back here, you're kind of chilling inside the staircase, and you're able to just fight them from here and be safe. And as long as you have a decent number of DPS put out, you'll be good. There's nothing for you to worry about. You got to always watch for the chunga, because there's different chungas that'll come. Is there one right here, I believe? Was there one? No, maybe not. But there's a lot of guys. There'll be enemies. They'll be up front. They'll be behind us, as the minimap is showing. There's some, there's some close. But we're doing a good job. Us and these 2 other agents are doing a great job. I do get a lot of good players. You guys be surprised. There are some randoms that are actually pretty good. I do have a great build, and I am definitely used to it in that sense. But a lot of times you can find agents, believe it or not, that do know how to do it. At least from my experience on PC. Or agents like that at this point that they know legendary to that degree. And like I said, as long as I have a good group, that it makes it a lot easier, even for myself even. So it's always good when you have a full team contributing, whereas it's just myself and another person, or just myself. It's never fun. It might be the best showcases when it's like that, to see the wow factor and whatnot, but it's not the best showcase as far as playing when it is that. So it's always good to have a better, smoother transition in this type of content, of course. So we're clearing this out. This is the second to last room of Legendary Capital. It's just us 2. We kind of did this 3-man. I've done this before 3-man. I believe I've done it 2-man too. But this is regular Legendary 3-man. This new Ouroboros build with the Stinger Hive and Striker Drone. It's great. I'm loving this build. This is a great build. So we're gonna go ahead and go ahead and do some more builds with this one. This one hits hard, and I feel it being able to do some other content. I'm definitely eyeing Legendary 4 Directive Tidal Basin. I've already done Legendary 4 Directive Manning Zoo, Capital here that I'm doing right now, DUA and Roosevelt Island. So we're looking to get Tidal Basin done pretty soon, and that one's going to be pretty fun. We're hoping it's going to be pretty good. So that's coming up soon. Don't blink. Just get myself paced for it. That Manning Zoo run was the longest Legendary, so having that one out the way is great. We're going to go ahead and try and get to the Tidal Basin one pretty soon. But right now, we're just taking it one step at a time. So he asked me if I was streaming, and I said no, I was recording this one. So I'll usually just record it. I'm telling them about my membership channel. Yeah, I usually just try and just let agents know, because I just want them to know that these services are available. Because a lot of people keep asking me, where do I go for help? I'll see these things on sites, Reddit, different areas, and it's like, there's areas you can go, man. There's spots that you can there's people you can hit up and that will help you out. And you know what? I need to make my own Reddit in a sense, and just start letting people know, just getting more connected with the community, honestly, and just letting them know that I'm there and I'm there to help. Like if you guys want any exotics, Ouroboros, St. Elmo's, whatever it might be, Vindicator, You want to run descent with me, whatever it might be. No, I wouldn't say I'm the most pro at descent or whatnot. You know, I have beaten it my fair share of times, but we could do whatever we can do, whatever you guys want to do to be able to help out. I just know that my expertise is at that level where I can definitely help out with anything at all, and with a high level, high level of success rate. If this game had a percentage of success rate, mine would be well into the 90s, I'm sure, or high 80s for sure. So just want you to know that if you guys do plan on that or think that that's something that you'd invest in, time invested in. And I do promise that to deliver on what I say I will. Okay, so we're in the final room. At this room, you want to make sure that you go to the left here usually. You know what? Obviously, I mean, honestly, at the first time I used to do this, like when Legendary was new to me, I used to stay in the back room there, and I would still win it, but we would be all the way at the back, and a lot of them would surround us. And so when I found this method out, I kind of thought it was weird, but I was like, at least at the same time, you're covered, and a lot of enemies don't come and try and attack you. You know, all over the place, like from the right, left, up, down. You know, like it's crazy, like to be able to have that and be able to do it in that other way. But when you're right here, you see like if one of your teammates go down, I have clear cover here. I can bring them back. I don't have to worry about being lit up by any of the enemies on the outer area. I can bring him back comfortably. He can be able to come back. He can hide and get himself back together and be able to, you know, fight back again. I think it's a good spot to be in. So as everybody knows, it's, you know, you know what spot to be in. But at the same time, as you're here, you want to peek out and pick your spots comfortably, because you'll see right here in this image, Refusian, I believe, he's peeking out a lot more often, and I think he might have a good gun where he could be doing some damage on him or whatnot, or maybe he's feeling really good and being able to get good angles on him. But the thing is, you want to keep a lookout for the enemies around you, because if you're not doing that, they will get you when you poke out. They're the same way we're poking out is the same way they're trying to do, and they'll get you when you poke out and you're not paying attention. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention and you're not getting hit, and that you're seeing the enemies from where they're at and you're paying attention, especially to the mini-map. Sorry, my teammate Refusian was a really great teammate. It's just sometimes it's just I'm just pointing things out that I'm seeing here as we're playing. And there's a number of times, you know, sometimes they might have went down in an instance, and it's because of peeking out and just knowing when to peek and when not to. This is a tough part. This is a tough area. It always is a tough spot. You know, I've been taken down a few times here as well. So it's like just knowing when to look and when not to. And that comes with just, you know, once you've done it enough, you'll know when it's clear, when it's not clear. So let me see. Is there a medic? There is a medic. Were we getting it? Okay, yes, the medic we did get. See, there I get hit. But I get down just about in time. Get my teammate again. So like I said, it's a good spot to be able to revive, so that, you know, if you have teammates that end up passing or getting hit, you're able to revive them. Obviously you're seeing Koopy all the way over there, 27 in the corner. He's able to go over there, and I think what played into that as well, obviously, was my my Hive at times in the beginning, because a lot of times with this Hive, what I notice is it will keep a lot of legendary enemies away and off of us in the distance, as you will see when I throw it again. And he was saying a lot of times like that he was all right. He was over there because he was killing them. I was like, yes, you were killing them with your weapon. However, if the Hive wasn't there, they would push you. They would press you more. And when they start doing that in 3s, 4s, you're just not getting out of that. You might kill 2, 3 of them maybe, but the last one's gonna get you and you're gonna go down. And you just don't want to do that. And that's what I mean by by being steady and patient. I'm not saying his area was bad. He has a good spot in the area, obviously, where Koopy 27's at. It's a good area, but it's just at the point that he went there. He went there a little earlier than I anticipated he would have went over there, and the Hive did help out with that, I believe, of course. As you're seeing here, it's out. They're kind of coming closer. The Hive starts doing its effects. They back up. They retreat. Notice they retreat right away. Okay, and the attacker drone helps a lot. The striker drone with the chungus, they're like flies to them. They really pest them, and if they hit strong, it's a win-win situation for your team, obviously. So having that and the Stinger Hive, as you guys are seeing, it's a lethal combination. It's a combination I love. I definitely can assure you will see a incursion run with this. I'm like about 90% sure you will. I'm not sure when it will get out, but you will see one. This was a good run. As far as the way I played, I think I played decently well. I played up to my standard. I did what I had to do mostly. Did get hit with a couple shots. I feel like, you know, could have been a little more careful, but you know, it comes with the territory. But I feel like this grade for this one, at least on my behalf of what I was looking at, I feel like it was me just coasting it, normal performance. I'd say like a B plus, just a normal performance. B plus, 88, 89%. I'll give like an A to something that I do like something extravagant in, like in the sense of, you know, I feel like in the sense of B plus, I think that's a little harsh. I just give it like just a solid like A in the sense of just the build. Like it made this mission a lot easier, as you guys are seeing. 30 something minutes that this was. This build, I've done this mission with it's a couple agents. I don't know if it was their experience or whatnot, but it's been an hour or well over an hour. Some of them, a lot of them 40-minute range. If you go back and look at them, and this one was done pretty quickly. If I totally do not say myself, this one was done pretty quickly. So just knowing how fast it was done, it was great builds that we had, and knowing that we only had 3 players, that as well shows testament that this was definitely A. I wouldn't say it was a B. Well, B plus, I would say like I did say it was a B plus. I say like in the sense of what I know I can do and how smoother it could have been had I hit some of my shots better. I don't know, just like my way I felt after watching it. But I feel like honestly myself an A minus. I feel like it's an A, just a solid A, as far as the build and as far as like us utilizing our builds well, being 3 agents doing this. It's scaled for 3, and that's great. And another thing I'll touch on, guys, by the way, since I'm doing my first legendary run commentary, is the scale things. I know there's a lot of solo players. I totally don't take anything at all away from solo players, but the thing is, solo is scaled for solo. So it's like there'll be certain rooms, like there'll be certain solo players that can solo, but if they're like in like a group and we had 3 or 4 players and we go down and they have to solo for the team and get us back up, and they can't do it because it's what's the word? It's queued. I don't want to say queued. It's made differently for it's scaled differently. There's a word. It's scaled differently for 3 to 4 players than it is for 1 to 2. So even 1, 2, whatever it might be, it's scaled differently. Look at that beautiful exotic right there. Always great seeing that. But yeah, it's scaled differently for solo players. So taking nothing away from solo, like solo, if you can do these missions solo, it's really great. You're a solo player. It's obviously requires different skills, different expertise, different builds, a different way of going about things. I've come across a lot of solo players that love soloing legendary, but they say usually in groups it tends to be a little, sometimes it could be a little more hectic, so they like playing alone. There's different reasons, but soloing is definitely tough. But don't get it twisted, soloing a legendary mission isn't like one person doing the same exact stuff that you just saw me do here with 3 agents. There's more enemies, it's scaled more and everything for each agent. But there has been times when a lot of times my whole entire team has gone down, and as you guys have seen, I've brought them all back. I've had to solo the enemy. You know, that's no easy feat doing that, but I've done it. If you truly want a solo legendary mission, you'd have to have a full team. Like a real legendary mission, how they intended it to be, you'd have to have a full team, and you have to have those guys go down while they're playing, and then you just fight the enemy. And that, let me tell you, for any solo player that's out there that's watching this, do that, and you'll see the extreme difference of when you're playing by alone, soloing that, and when you're playing when 3 of your teammates are down. Okay, so this is a mission. It's over. We did great. I showed you the build there. It's a little quick. You could always pause it, certain parts. But it was a great run. Thank you guys for watching. Life's a game. Have a good day.